Note as we are wrapping up our 2014 year. I'm so excited to be able to provide for you a way to stay on purpose and on target as you wrap up your year-end goals. I hear so many people right now that are saying how they can't wait for 2015 to roll around and for the new year to get started. But there's still a lot of work to be done in this 2014 year. So let's not let the ball drop just yet. Let's work together to really make the most of these last couple of weeks. So this is our first video and email that's going out for this 4-week series, and I just kind of want to give you a quick overview of how things are going to work. First and foremost, we're going to send about 3 different lessons each week to you, and they'll probably come every other day, and you have the opportunity to work on them whenever it works for you. So if this is something you need to do at night or you need to do it really early in the morning, whatever works for you is fine. You'll have the emails and you can work on them as they come, or you can save up a day of the week and just spend time working on them at that time. The one thing I want to caution you is that it will be very tempting to not open the email right away or not work on it right away. This really only works, the series only works if there is still time in the 2014 year left. So don't wait until January of next year to decide to get started on this series. This is really geared and catered to the end of the year. So just make sure that you're not missing out on the opportunity for that. So you'll be getting those lessons, and we'll talk about kind of making some time to do them and how to structure them in a way that you can fit them into your schedule. But I do want to just encourage you as we're getting to the end of the year to just not give up on your business. And let's talk a little bit about business really quickly. I know so many of you who are part of this group for this series come from a lot of different kinds of backgrounds. You might be owning your own business with an actual storefront and a business idea and concept that you've come up with all your own, and that's your business. Some of you may have a home-based business where you're working out of your own kitchen or your own basement or an extra bedroom somewhere. Some of you are in direct sales where you have a product that's provided for you and a company setup that's provided for you. And then I know some of you are a part of this that you are actually a leader or an executive director of an organization or a nonprofit. Regardless of what your business is, we're going to classify all of that as a business. We're all in business. And I want to encourage you, no matter where you're at in the business world, to think of what you do as a business. It's very easy, especially when you are in the direct sales type of world. Or in a nonprofit situation, to view that as a money-making activity, money-making hobby. Especially for nonprofits, you get more focused on the fundraising part of it and the volunteer aspects, that it's not so much about the money. So I understand that, but I really want to challenge you to start thinking with a business mindset. And I will guarantee you, no matter who you are, where you're at, if you were to find a successful CEO somewhere in your neighborhood or in the planet somewhere, you will find someone who owns a business. They are still working until the very end of the 2014 year. You don't see them checking out once Thanksgiving comes along. They are working and pushing until the last strike of the clock. So think of yourself that way too, and don't discount what it is you do and the time that you put into it, and really the effort you'll get from the activity and the time that you put into it. I like to classify business women as women who their daily activity directly impacts their financial success. So no matter if you own a business, you're in direct sales, you're in commission sales, working for a company, you're in a nonprofit, you want to start a business. I mean, those kinds of activities directly impact your financial success. So in my book, you're a business owner. So that's what I want you to keep in mind as we go forward in this series together, is that yes, you qualify as being a business owner and being in business. So let's go on and talk a little bit about what we want to do in this first lesson. I know that you just got finished with Thanksgiving. You're probably still kind of picking through those leftovers and enjoying a little bit of that holiday. But I want you to take a moment as you're working through this lesson and you're writing things down and getting ready to kind of jump into the series. I want you to take a moment and get some paper and pen. You're going to need to jot a couple of things down. First of all, I want you to write down the one important thing that you need to accomplish before the end of the year. Now, when you signed up for the series, that was one of the questions that I asked as part of the registration form. And some of you had a very specific answer. Some of you had 3 or 4 things that you wanted to do. Wow, I know there's a lot of work to be done, but I want you to think about the one thing. And the reason why we're going to focus on just one thing really is going to help us focus our attention and really target our activity so that we're not trying to accomplish the entire thing that we want to do in our life in 4 weeks. And to be really honest with you, when we come out of this series and we roll around into the first of the year, there's going to be an opportunity for you to be a part of another group coaching session sort of like this that will help you plan for 2015. And that will really allow you to maybe pick up some of the pieces that you didn't get finalized as the year ended. Some of those other projects that you want to tackle, you'll have the opportunity to do that in 2015. So right now, though, I want you to think about, of all those things that you mentioned, what's the one key element that has to absolutely get done before 2014? And maybe that is, putting together a customer database. Maybe that's really figuring out your product, your sales, getting ready for your taxes, whatever the case may be. Figure that out. You need to know exactly what you have to hit. What target are you shooting for? So that when 2014 comes to an end, no matter what happened at the beginning of the year or the middle of the year, at the end of the year, you got done what needed to be done. So what's the one thing you need to do before the end of the year? The second thing I want you to write down is I want you to jot down a list of everything that's going on from now until the end of the year, as far as Christmas parties, your kids' plays or musicals or concerts, holiday parties. Maybe you've got a work event, or you've got to go to a spouse's work event, or you've got family Christmas, something going on. Regardless, start writing those down. It doesn't have to even be in chronological order. Just start jotting the things down that you need to make sure you don't forget about. So what are those things that you need to get done, and what appointment type things do you have on your Christmas schedule? And that can be anything, like I said, from appointments to holiday events, personal time with family, whatever the case may be. And then you're also going to jot down all of the appointments and scheduled meetings that you have that are non-negotiable for your business. So not the meetings you hope to get, not the conferences you hope to go to. What are the already scheduled, set in stone appointments that you have placed on your calendar between now and the end of the year? And that's super critical because it's important for you to know really the time that you have to spend on reaching your goal. And that's kind of what I want to spend the rest of this video talking about, is how to really set time aside to not only do these lessons, but also to work on the things that you need to do to get you to your end result, to get you to your goal. And so after you've written these things down, you're writing down the one thing you want to accomplish. And then we're going to write down all of the appointments that we have scheduled, parties, concerts, events, and then meetings, business type appointments that you already have set and scheduled on your calendar. So in your email, I actually sent to you a weekly plan sheet. It is my favorite kind of a weekly plan sheet. There are 101 different calendars, weekly calendars, schedule appointment books, whatever you want to call them. There's 101 of them, and you can pick whatever one works for you. I emailed you in this email a PDF that has pages you can print off, hole punch, and stick in a notebook, or you can staple them onto a calendar, whatever you want to do. But I particularly like these. They're from Passion Planner, and if you're looking for a bound version of this particular planning page, passionplanner.com is fantastic, and they offer really great bound versions of these pages. So the pages, as you can see, has an entire week, and what I like most about them is the fact that you've got these places to jot notes, and at the bottom you've got a place to keep to-do list, and on the second page, which is the back half of the week, you've got places places to jot down, brainstorming ideas or whatnot. So print off enough of these. These are weekly schedules. So print off enough weeks from now to the end of the year. Should be about 6. And then you've got your calendar set for the rest of the year. And so this is what we call weekly planning. What you do is you take your weekly plan sheet like such, and you're going to start marking out time that you are spending on certain things. Now, what I like to do, instead of just jotting down my appointments, I like to actually determine what times of the day am I going to be devoting to certain types of activities in my life. So I actually take a highlighter, if you can see here, and there's a couple of different colors that I use. There's a blue, there's green, there's orange, and I sort of block out times that I'm going to be spending in each part of my life there. And so each color stands for a certain part of my daily activity. I've got a color for my business, I have a color for my family, I have a color for personal things that have to be done, and I schedule time out knowing what actually has to get done. So if you were to look at this in my actual sheet that I would do, in these colored boxes would be written the appointments that I have. So for instance, if we're looking at what is today is, well, I'm recording this on a Saturday, but if you're looking at Monday and Sunday, you see I've got an orange box here. I would actually have written there any time that I actually have an appointment scheduled, or if there's something that has to get done, like I have to go in this box right here, this box of time, I have to go get Christmas shopping done, or at this particular box at night, I have to go to my daughter's Christmas concert. You start writing those things and you start blocking out time. Now with the weekly plan sheet, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to that list of things that have to be done: Christmas parties, concerts, events, family get-togethers, and then your business stuff that has to get done. You're going to go to those lists, and then you're going to start charting them out, writing them down on your weekly plan sheets. So you have 6 weeks of these basically, so you can go from now to the end of the year, pick up those appointments and start plugging them in on your sheet. Then you know how to build these color boxes around those appointments. So if you've got, for instance, let's say on December the 18th, which is a Thursday night, you have a family get together with your in-laws. Okay, so you're going to have written that on your weekly plan sheet, and then you know that that night is going to be spent obviously doing that and preparing for that and cleaning up from that and traveling to and from that. And so you're going to block out the chunks of time that need to be devoted to that particular event. The rest of the day, you might say, gosh, I already have so much time that I have for that day going to family things. I'm going to spend the morning working on my business, or I'm going to spend the morning calling on customers, or filing paperwork, or whatever it is that you want to do. But you kind of get the idea. You set your appointments and then schedule blocks of time around them. And it's really great, because what happens is sometimes we can become too one way or to the other. So we can become so wrapped up in holiday fun and festivities that our business gets idle for the next couple of weeks and nothing gets done. Or the vice versa can happen. We can get so driven by holiday sales and holiday customers and demand for shopping and demand for product that we totally forget that we need to also take time for a family. And so we don't want to leave one in the dust. We really want to try to find a way to give ourselves to both our personal life and our professional life. And this is a great tool to use to do that. The other great thing is that this particular process, this weekly planning process, it actually works all year long, not just through the holidays. So if you can take these sheets and print them off, or go find something that works for you, and then you can use the same process all year long, and you can chart all of your appointments and then know how much time of the day you're actually going to give to your business or to that particular activity that you have on your calendar. That is super important, because as we go through these really crucial weeks and we become very busy and we become pulled between our personal lives and our professional demands, it's going to be important for you to find time to work on these lessons. You're given free weeks of coaching that normally people have to pay chunks of money for, to be really honest. You're getting it for free, so don't let it go to waste. So what I would challenge you to do is, after you put your weekly plan sheet together and you have marked off all of the appointments that you have, and then you sat down and said, okay, I'm going to work on my business here and here and here, or I have to be in the office because that's what my business expects of me, here, here, and here. And then you see what other times you have available. And you can decide, you know what, this is the night that I want to go spend looking at Christmas lights with my family. Or this is the time of day that I really want to spend time going shopping with my mom. Or you can look at it and say, you know what, there's 3 mornings this week that I have nothing going on. These are the 3 mornings I'm going to spend working on those lessons that keep coming to my email box and working through the things that you're receiving in the series. So hopefully that makes sense to you, how to use that and how to utilize the weekly plan sheet. This is what's going to be your lifesaver as you go through these next couple of weeks. And this is how you're going to find time to not only do your lessons, but to also find time to work on the business, to take care of your customers or your clients, and continue to feel like you have time for your family and you're not missing out on all the holiday fun. So that's a weekly plan sheet. And again, I challenge you to go ahead and use this in the coming months throughout next year. The process works no matter who you are, what you're doing. It really helps keep a handle on your time. And what's nice as you look at this entire week, and I just did this one page as an example, but the whole week goes along here and you all have them highlighted. You have a very visual look, a very visual scope to say, I have a lot of time on my hands to do this or that, or my week is already packed. There's no way I can add something else to my list this week. That has to go on to next week. It gives you a very true picture as to what time you have available and what time you don't. And so when you think, oh yeah, I've got time to squeeze in a coffee date with, a bunch of my girlfriends, you might look at your calendar and go, I can't do that this week. I have time next week, but this week it's just not going to work. So it gives you a very true map and a very true picture of what it is, that you have on your hand, how much time you've got on your hands. So as we go through these next couple of weeks and you're charting out your time, you're charting out time to take care of your family and do what you need to do, but we're also scheduling time for our lessons, right? We also need to schedule time to work on your business, not in your business. And there's a difference. On your business means you are doing things such as filing forms, revamping your product, maybe you're designing new labels, maybe you're coming up with updates on your website, you're restructuring your pricing. That's working on your business. In your business is working with your customers or sending out product or actually filling that product. There's a difference. So it's going to be natural for you to have time to work in your business because you have to work in your business, right? You've got to work with your customers. You have to actually get the product out there to them. You actually have to show up at your office or at your store or at your desk in order to do the job. But what we don't do is schedule time to work on our business. And so find time on your weekly plan sheet to do the lessons, and then find time on your weekly plan sheet to work on your business. And we're going to talk more about what on your business needs to be in these next couple of weeks. So watch for the next video for that. Somebody had emailed me and asked me what the time commitment might be for actually trying to work through these lessons. And to be really honest with you, the lessons are going to be pretty short and sweet. The emails won't be very long and lengthy. The video, maybe 20 minutes. So I'm thinking you probably need to reserve about an hour to do the lesson, and then maybe 10 or 15 minutes to kind of implement the things that we're talking about. So obviously it's going to take you some time to go through your calendar, write down your stuff on your weekly plan sheet, circle, highlight, whatever, the blocks of time you're going to work. But beyond that, you should pretty much be done with this lesson. So if you schedule yourself about 4 hours throughout the week to work on the lesson, you should be able to get it done. As far as working on your business, I would say probably about the same amount of time. 4 to 5 hours a week should get you where you need to be at the end of the year. So that's every week, and that can be all in one chunk. It can be spread out over a couple of days. Whatever works for you is really going to be what's best. And as much as I can give you examples of what I do and what fits for my schedule, honestly, that's not going to be ideal for all of you. So ultimately, it comes down to you being disciplined enough to say, this is what works best for me. I need to take Sunday nights and work on my business, or I need to get up an hour earlier each day so I have an hour to work on my lesson each day. that's not anything I can do for you. You have to do that for yourself. But it's important that you find the time to do those kinds of things. It will be what makes the difference between ending the year on a mediocre level or really ending it on a high note. I guarantee you won't regret it. The involvement and the dedication that you put into these next couple of weeks will slingshot you into a brand new year that comes with lots of promise and lots of excitement and an opportunity for you to blow your expectations out of the water. It really, really makes a difference. And I hope that you believe that. Excuse me. I hope that you start to see that. And I hope you recognize the fact that your business is worth it. Your effort is worth it. And more than anything, you're worth it. If this is your passion and this is your heart and this is where you're spending your time and energy, then give it all of your passion and your energy. Give over to it. Really work to invest what needs to be invested. It might be a hard push right now, but I guarantee you that the short-term sacrifice will definitely be a long-term gain for you in the end. So you've got the rest of the information in your email. Super excited to get rocking and rolling with you. Don't ever hesitate to email me should you need any clarification on the lessons or have any questions. And then be on the lookout for a new Facebook interactive page that's going to come out for you to jump on and be able to share your thoughts and ideas. And that will just amp up this 4 weeks for you. It'll just turn it up a notch and you'll even get more out of it and hopefully develop some great relationships with other businesswomen just like yourself. So with that, hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Can't wait to talk to you more in the future. Bye-bye.